everyone, it's Annette. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you a super cool technique. I watched Gina K Design's YouTube channel last night. She does a live on Tuesday evenings, and she showed us how to make our own pattern paper. I've never done this. I usually just get pattern paper pads at the store and chop those up and make cards. But I was just enthralled by this technique, and I've been practicing today and I just can't stop making these. I thought I'm just going to do a video because this is so cool, and I'm just amazed at how realistic. I mean, they look like the pattern papers that I purchased. So I thought it'd be fun to show you how it's done, and I'm going to make a card out of one of them. So let's get started. So we're using all Gina K products today. What you want to do, and what she said, is that the idea behind this is layering colors that go well together. So I have a good idea with my colors. I like certain colors, and sometimes I like to experiment with colors too that I might not necessarily put together, but they look good together. And you can get inspiration from nature, from upholstery, fabric, clothing, paintings, just anywhere. So I like to pay attention when I'm out and about different colors. But today I'm going to use these three colors. I'm going to use the base color on all of them is soft stone. Okay, and then I'm going to use, I think this is honey mustard and powder blue. So those are my three colors, and I'm just going to do variations of them. I'm going to make three backgrounds, I think. Yeah, three backgrounds. And we will make variations using these three colors, and they will complement each other. So I'm going to pull in another background. So what we have are these background stamps, and we're just going to get started. I'm just going to set these aside. We're going to start with this one, and this one is called Music Medley Background. And you don't even need a stamping platform. Let me just get these out of the way. These are just quarter sheet pieces of cardstock, and these are 65-pound weight. So I'm just going to, whenever I do use background stamps, I don't put them in my stamping platform. I just peel off one of the sheets and I just make sure it's going the right way. It's kind of hard to tell with this one because there's notes that are right side up and upside down, but I think this is the way it goes. So we're just going to ink it up and put the card right on top of it. And so let's start. Let's do the soft stone. And it might be a little bit hard for you to see on my surface, but I'm just inking this up with the soft stone. Okay. And then we're just going to take our cardstock and lay it right on top. And then I'm just going to take a paper towel and lay it on top of that and just rub it. Just give it a gentle rub all over so that cardstock is hitting every part of that background stamp. Okay. And then just gently lift it up. And that's what you have. And it's okay that I was a little light over here because we're adding layers to this. So that's the first one. And then let's clean this stamp off because we're not going to use this again. We're going to move on. We're going to stay with the same ink, the soft stone, but we're just going to change up the background stamp. Because like I said, each of these stamps or each of these backgrounds is going to start off with the same color background. So let's put this one away. All right. And we'll bring in, this one is one of my favorites, and it is called Elegant. I think it's Elegant Script Background. All right. And this one is a little bit, you do want it to be right side up, so it's really hard to tell on camera, but let me just take a gander, and I believe that is the right orientation. So we will go ahead and put the soft stone on that. thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoy these tutorials or these techniques. They're a lot of fun. Let me know if any of you are trying any of these, or if you even make cards, or if you're just watching because you want something mindless to watch. Sometimes I watch cake decorating or cookie decorating. I don't do any of that, but boy, I could sure watch those videos. They're kind of fun. They're relaxing to me. All right. I'm going to make sure I focus on the corners this time. And that's the Elegant script. Okay. And I'm just cleaning these off with my tidy towel in between. Get the ink off. All right, and then we have one more background stamp that we're going to use, and this one is called, I don't remember. I just used it the other day, but I don't remember what it's called. Beautiful Patterns. And this one is kind of fun. It is one stamp with 4 different designs. And what I did with this is I took my card, I inked it up, and I took my panel, laid it down, rubbed it, took it off, turned the stamp a quarter turn, and did the same thing. So I'm going to do that. And it just, I don't know, I probably don't need to turn it, but I thought it would make some kind of really cool pattern, and it kind of did. I liked it. I'm just gonna do the same thing again and see if I can recreate that. So we will just put that down. And give that a good rub. Okay, and I'm going to just keep this in the same orientation so I don't get mixed up. And then we'll just add more ink. So right now, that is what it looks like. So pay attention to the circles up here, and we'll see what happens when I put it down again. Those stripes should hit where the circles are, where the little polka dots are. Okay, let's see what we got. Yeah, you kind of see. Got some stripes and polka dots. The gauze has polka dots, and you know, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. So that is step 1. So let me clean this stamp off, and then the magic happens. This is so cool. I don't know. This is like my new favorite thing, I think. Whoops, I forgot to put the, oh boy, hang on. I forgot to put the protective sheet on this. There we go. Okay, so we have our 3 panels. So next, I want to do a couple things. Let's start with this one, and I do want to get a sheet of paper. Hold on. All right, this paper is very, very bright, but it was the first thing I could grab, so let's go ahead and get this. And then I want to take my next color. We're going to do the powder blue. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in a stamping block. We're not going to use the stamping platform because we're going to be moving all around this. So I'm going to take this stamp set, and I want to use, this one's called Beautiful Sketches. And I'm going to use this leafy stem. Let's do that. And I'm just going to put this onto the acrylic block. Now, I don't have a larger round block or even a rectangle or square, but a little bit of this stamp is falling off the edge, and that's okay. You see that? Let's see where my camera is. So most of the stamp is on the block. I'm not worried about that. So what we're going to do, and Gina had a really good tip, and it works really, really well. She said to think of like a deck of cards, the card number 5. How you have a symbol, like if it's hearts, you have a heart in the middle and then one in each corner. So that is the same way you want to stamp to make it look like an even pattern or even coverage. So we're going to stamp in the middle, and then we're going to turn the stamp and do the corners, and then we'll fill it in with other parts of this, and I may pull in even a smaller stamp, but let's give it a go. So this is powder blue on top of the soft stone. And I actually like that just like it is, but let's continue on. And then we're going to turn it this way and get this corner. And then we'll go this way and get that corner. And then we're going to come in on this angle, and we'll go like that. And then we'll come down here, and I'm not overlapping, so you can, let's go out this way. You can kind of see I'm not overlapping. I can see through the clear block, and I'm not overlapping. So then I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to hit these bare areas and just do partial stamping, just bringing it in. Go this way, and then we'll bring, we'll bring this in here, and then that's all I'm going to do with this stamp. And clean it off and set it aside, because we're going to go ahead and bring in a smaller, let me see what I have. Let's pull in this stamp set. This is called You Anchor Me. Let me zoom out so you can see. This is a kind of a cool, I really haven't used much of this. It has this really cool anchor. I've never used it. I'm not quite sure. I have to look up some example cards. And I'm just going to find a small piece that I can use as a filler, or even that's kind of fun. I think we're going to use that little flower. Let's try that on a small acrylic block. And I'm going to use the same color. Okay. We'll put one down here. Put one in here. And I'm just kind of randomly picking little areas, and I do want it to go off of the page, so some of them I'm just hitting. I'll put one down here as well. You can see that. You see how it's coming together like pattern paper? So we have, right now we have 3 layers. Okay, we have the music notes, the leaf, the flower, and let's put one up here. And let's put one coming in right here. Okay, I'm done with that. Now, to finish this, we're going to add one more layer. I may use these stamps again, so I'm just going to set those to the side. So now we're going to bring in the honey mustard. Okay, and we're going to get that back where it was. Actually, we don't need that there. We're going back to a background stamp, which means we're going to take this one. This is called Snowy Background. But you can use it to make polka dots. It just depends. You can make it look like snow with like a soft, like a very, very light green color, like light spruce or a very pale blue, or you can just make it look like polka dots with bright colors. So we're using honey mustard to add just a different color, introducing a third color to this panel. Okay, let's get that going that way. And we're just gonna lay it down. And where's my paper towel? Here it is. And just give it a good rub. And that's what you get. Isn't that cool? I love it. Wait till you see. I think, so far, I really think I'm gonna make a card with this one, but we'll see. We got 2 more to go, and we'll see which one speaks to me, and we'll make a card from it. So let's see now. We have these 2 to go. So let's try this one. Let me make sure I got it going the right way. Yeah. And I'm going to use from the same stamp set, I'm going to use this flower. Let's try that. We'll bring the round block again. And that flower fits right on it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring in powder blue. Let's set that aside. And let's just ink it up. And we're going to do the same rule, the rule of 5. 1 in the middle and 1 in each corner, and we'll rotate the stamp. We can even put the first one offset a little bit. We'll go this one this way. These are going to go upside down. And then I want to bring some, just like before, we'll bring some off to the side here. We'll just go around, and then we will find a small stamp for a filler. I just really love this technique. Put one down here. Okay. All right, so let's see. What can we use? I'm going to go back to this set, and I think I'm going to use one of these little, I don't know if these are berries or what they are, but I'm going to go with that. And again, we're going to still use powder blue, and we'll start filling in the blanks. Okay, let's put one going this way. And let's get some in here. Whoops, I totally missed that. Let's see if I can line that up. Not too bad. A little double stamping, but nobody's going to notice. Don't tell anybody. And then, let's see, I think I need a little something over here. And then up here. Let's see. Maybe something over on this side too. We'll bring that one in this way. Okay. All right. Let's put this stamp away. All right, so now we have honey mustard that we need to bring in. And let's do the snowy, actually, you know what, let's not do the snowy background. Let's find something really small, like this little leaf right here. Since we did the snowy background on that, let's just do a leaf in honey mustard. We'll change it up a bit, and we'll This is just a very small leaf, and we can fill it in different areas. I really like that. Let's go up here. Let's go this way. Get my big head out of the way again. Sometimes I just need to be on top of the card so I can see what I'm doing. Go right here. And then maybe over here. Well, let's see what that looks like. Sometimes you do have to know when to stop. Oh, again, I think this side needs a little bit like that. I think I'm going to stop right there. Isn't that pretty? And see how well they complement each other? Like if you do craft and you do get pattern papers, you know, they have pattern paper that complements each other. Same color family, same colors, but different designs. And, you know, we can leave this one just the way it is if we needed something more plain. But that only has the gray in it, so I do want to add blue. And I think what I'll do is, let's just do the snowy background in blue and see what it looks like. And we'll leave that one more on the plain side. Let me get this little stamp away before I lose them. Get these put away. Okay, what color do I have? I think this is the honey mustard. So let's go with the powder blue again. And it's okay that it already has some of those dots, but these are different. These are different dots. They're a little bit bigger, a little more random. Okay, I'm gonna ink this up really, really well. And we'll get that cardstock right on it. And we'll rub it all over. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. So these just complement each other very nicely. Aren't those cool? I mean, these are just so cool. So now, let me clean this stamp off. I'm gonna decide which one I'm going to make a card with. I mean, eventually they will all become cards. And I wish I had handy, I know they're here somewhere. I'm gonna find them real quick because I want to show you the ones I did the other day. If I could find them, I just don't know what I did with them. I'd love to show you those. Oh, here they are. So these are the ones I did the other day, and I used the same colors. Okay, so just a little bit different. Like this one that I did today, I did the flower in blue. This one I did honey mustard. So technically all 6 of these complement each other. So these are the ones I did the other day. And I'm just absolutely adoring this technique. So let's make a card. I'm going to use, I already started die cutting, so I'm going to be using Gina K's Master Layouts 4, and these are cutting dies, and I'm going to use the postage stamp die, and I've already cut out the matte layer that'll go underneath the postage stamp, and that is right here. So I already cut out the matte layer, and it has a nice stitched edge around it. You can see that. And then I pulled out the postage stamp die, so we're gonna do that. And then I already die cut the, I made a sentiment strip that just says thinking of you. and I stamped it and I heat embossed it in a bronze embossing powder, so it has like a shine to it. And then I cut it out using the stitched banner die and then the shadow layer, which is in black. Big surprise. And those will get glued together. And then those will go on to the die cut postage stamp, which I'm going to die cut on camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Then we'll put it all together. So let's see. The postage stamp. Well, here's another thing. Let's see here, because this is going to go, if I do it with the flowers, it's going to probably, well, I guess it could go this way, but it looks like they're floating, doesn't it? But it could go this way on the card, because the card's going to be a top folding. But the question is then, where does this go? This, I'm going to assume, since it's all cut out of the same master layouts, it's all gonna work together. So here's the bigger question. Yep, it's all gonna fit. It will all fit on the card. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this panel, and I'll save these for another day. I'll put them with the other ones. So let me bring up the die cutting machine. Here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. So we will get that going. And I am going to tape this down because I don't want it to move. I think this is going to look okay. I don't know. I like this die. So I think it's going to be fun. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. And then we will run it through. And let's see what we have here. Okay, very, very cool. So this die has, it looks like a postage stamp, right? Or a postcard, and it has these little holes. So you do have to poke them out. Does not take long. They come right out. Some of them fall out on their own, but a lot of them need a little encouragement. Get them out of there. So you just want to go around. These little tools help. A little pick tool or a toothpick or whatever you have. And make sure they do fall out, because sometimes they do hang on. You can kind of see on the back there's a couple hanging on here. Thought I got them all. It's funny how your eyes deceive you. On the one side they look like they all fell out, and then you flip it over and there's like a lot more that need to come out. Okay, so now they're all out. So I always like to put my dies away because they're very easy to misplace and accidentally throw away, and they are a little bit of an investment. So, you can actually save this piece. I might save this. This could be a nice frame for another card. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in with my Master Layouts 14. Actually, I'm going to turn it around. I know that's being a little fussy, but I'm going to turn it around so I can see what is in the package when I'm looking. All right, I'll clean that mat out later. Let's get moving on. Let's put this card together. So let's get all of our pieces. I'm going to work over here on the white side so you can see what I'm doing. And let me grab a card base. See, I always think I have everything with me, and I don't know. I don't know why I always forget to get these last pieces when I'm getting ready to make a card for y'all. I just try to get everything on hand so these videos aren't long, because, you know, they don't need to be long. I know when I go live, which isn't very often, but when I do, those are a little bit longer because, you know, sometimes I'm chatting with you and, you know, we're just having fun making cards and answering questions, and so those go a little bit longer, but they're always on YouTube later. I make them public, so if you can't join the live, you can watch it when you are available. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time. Let me pull this down closer to me so I can look at this straight on. This, a little bit of a challenge. All right. Okay, so there's our greeting with the shadow, the black shadow layer. And, you know, it's pretty even on each side. I'm not going to worry about it, but I could cut a little sliver off, but I'm actually not going to do that because I know these work well together, and this is exactly the same width as the matte layer, so we're not trimming anything off of that. All right, so all we have to do is put some glue down on this postage panel. Pretty easy. And get that lined up on the matte layers. Okay, I'm putting it on a black matte layer just because I think it helps it to pop out a little bit. Just makes it stand out. Okay, here you go. Isn't that lovely? It's just so sweet. And again, that matte layer has that black matte layer has that stitched edge border that you can see right there. All right. And then we'll go ahead and glue this down. Make sure you get the edges and the corners real well. And then I think, you know, you could put it dead center. We could, yeah, I'm going to put it in the center. I was going to offset it, but I think I like it right in the center, just underneath those dots. Okay. And then I'm going to just put that owl on there for a second and get our card base ready to go. And this card is almost completed. Really cool that we made the pattern paper together. This is a one of a kind, right? Can't buy this in a store. I don't think I could even duplicate it. So there you go. That is my finished card project for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you stayed with me, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. I put a video up every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I'd love to have you next week. Until then, have a great week.